Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Nailed It. My name is Aileen. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you consider subscribing, and if you're not, welcome back. So Nailed It is a series that was started by Jong, and she'll be linked down below, and content creators can join where we vote on looks and try to recreate them. And I'll have all the wonderful creators that are part of this Nailed It series linked down below, as well as the video for this look if you want to go check out the other content creators and see how they did. So if you're interested, then keep on watching. But before we go, comment, like, subscribe. Let's go. So this week's look, I'm going to pop a picture up here, is a look created by Danessa Myrick's. So in honor of Danessa Myrick's coming to Sephora, we decided it'd be a great way to honor her and her beautiful work by recreating the look. So I already went ahead and did complexion and I colored in my brows, but we're going to attempt to lift them just as the photo shows. And throughout the video, I'll pop the photo up so you guys can see how I'm doing as I go, and again at the end. So I did my complexion. I have a little bit of bronzer. She doesn't seem to have too much. And I just put like a natural, the She's So LA from Patrick Ta, and I might just add a little more. We'll see as we go along. So I'm going to start with the brows. I'm going to attempt to lift them. I don't know if it's possible, but we're going to try. So I'm going to start with a clear brow gel. And I'm going to just attempt, since lifting up my brows is not something that I do in my regular makeup routine, and in looking at the picture, it looks like the tail of the brow was fine, but the rest was lifted. And since it's not something like I was saying, that's a part of my regular routine, I don't have like a brow wax or anything of that sort that I can use. So I'm currently using the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel in clear. And we're going to try to lift them as much as we could. They're not long enough to lift. I think that's the best that we can do. So I'm going to go back in here, get some more, and try to do the other side. Because I don't lift and fluff my brows, I do trim them to just keep them in place and make things simple, but it's not simple for this look when they're trimmed. So I think that's the best I can do with the hair that I got. So let's move on to eyes. In looking at the photo, it does look like she has a bit of a bronzer shade as a transition into the crease. So I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, and this is in the shade 3 Tan. And I'm just going to go in with a fluffy brush. This is one of the like the Urban Decay brushes, and this one came from the Naked Cherry palette. And I'm just going to use that fluffier side. And I'm going to bring that out here. And I did prime my lids as well, and I'll have that in the description box. I use the Mario Prime and Set. I think that's a good shade. And then she did, see, I don't usually bring my transition shade all the way, especially if they're browns, just because I feel they kind of sink my inner corner. But for the sake of nailed it, we will do it. Let's bring it all the way in. And if I didn't mention, the only rule to being a part of the Nailed It series and creating a look is you can't go out and buy anything to create the look. You have to use products that you already have. So it's an awesome way to get you to use what you already have and dig through your old stuff and bring out maybe stuff you haven't used in a while. So I'm going to get that shade that she has on her eyes, I'm going to mix 2 shades. So it looks like it has a purple hue to it and like a gray. So I'm gonna use the Chantecaille Rhino and the Chantecaille Crane and combine those 2 colors together. So let me swatch them for you so you can see. So here's the gray shade with that shimmer, kind of like she has on. And I'll pop the picture up so you can see why I thought this would be perfect together. And then when you combine it with Crane, you get like the purple hue, but you still get the gray and like that glitter that you see there in the photo. And it does have a wet look. So I'm going to wet the shadows with the MAC Fix Plus and apply them. And if I feel I want a little bit more of a wet look, we're just gonna go ahead and add some clear lip gloss. Let's see. So I'm gonna go into Rhino first and wet that shade and put that all over the lid, but she didn't bring it out. It's literally just all over the lid. And the model definitely has a different eye shape. So to try to imitate that eye shape, I'm just gonna go up a little past the crease in the center there. So that's Rhino on its own. So now I'm gonna go into Crane. And I'm gonna wet that and mix that into the shade Rhino. So there you go. I think I may need just a little more Rhino, and I'm not going to go in wet. I flipped the brush over and I'm using the dry side. And then I'm just gonna blend to soften that harsh line. So what do you think? Her eyes are closed, so I can't tell if she has on any liner. And I'm just going to do the same in the other eye. I'm going to go in with Rhino, wet that. Because of the other eye, they're already mixed on the brush. So they gave the same color. So I'm going to go ahead and buff that edge. Sweep off any fallout. And there we go. I feel like the glitter gives it a good wet look in the shimmer of the shades. So I'm not going to add any gloss to them. In looking at it, it looks like she also has that on the lower, on the inner corner, like in the tip of that right here, like the inner corner, brushing onto the lower lash a little bit. But that's the only place I could see it. Because like I said, her eyes are closed. And her lashes don't let me see the full lower lash line. She doesn't appear to have false lashes. So let me curl my lashes and put on some mascara and we'll be right back. All right, so mascara is on. Next, I'm taking a look at the picture and I'm like, I want to say that she has some contouring and highlighting on her nose. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back into that same Charlotte Tilbury bronzer and I'm going to sculpt my nose up to my brow with the bronzer. She seems to have a more like button nose, and right here it's a little further in. So to give that illusion, I'm going to put a little bit bronzer there. And then her nose is the tip of her nose is contoured like a triangle. So I'm going to soften that line. And then she has highlight, but it's not like blingy or glittery. It's subtle. So I'm going to use the Chantecaille Manta Ray, and this is the Coral blush and highlight. And I'm going to use this highlight. And she seems to have a tiny bit of highlight on the tip of the nose, following right above that triangle shape we created. She has some right here. And it appears as though she has the highlight right in the center of the forehead, from like tip to brow to tip to brow in the shape of like a fan. It's very subtle. And then she definitely has highlight here. So this here appears like a soft, subtle highlight, but I'm not sure if it's because of her skin tone that maybe she just used a lighter concealer. I don't see any highlight on the sides of her cheeks, but she does have this natural bronzy cheek. So I'm gonna go in with a little more of the Patrick Ta Soleil, and I'm thinking combining a more natural cheek color with a little bit of highlight we gave here, it will kind of give the illusion that this highlight I swiped right here may be like a lighter concealer. And her skin looks flawless. It does appear as though the blush did connect with that bronzy shade. Of the eyeshadow that we used in the transition. I'm happy with that. I did take my earrings off because she doesn't have any earrings on, and immediately I felt uncomfortable. So for the lip, if you're not new to my channel, you know I don't wear these bold plum lips. So I did pick a couple shades in hopes of combining them and coming up with that lip color. So for lip liner, because I don't wear that shade, I don't have a lip liner that shade. I'm going to use an eyeliner, and this is a Sephora eyeliner in the shade Red Berry. Perfect shade reference. She just has beautiful lips. I don't think they're overlined, but I will try to create the shape a little bit with what I'm working with. To see if I can avoid mixing those lipsticks too much but still get this berry color, I'm gonna try to fill in my lips a little bit. Okay, I feel that's a good shade. I may not have to use, so I was going to mix this like berry, more reddish color with this Guerlain. It is N75, but I think I could just use this over this lip liner and then put a gloss. I feel that's a good shade. Let me add a clear lip gloss. And that is, her lips are very glossy. So here we are. Here's the final look. I feel my brows fell back down. I couldn't get them to stay up. But I feel the eye shade and the lip shade is pretty good. Pretty close. So I will move on over so I can pop a picture up here. And you tell me, what do you think? Did I nail it or did I fail it? Thank you all for joining me. Until next time, don't forget, we're all perfectly imperfect. Bye.